Hello, my name is Anthony Smith, and today I'd like to talk to you about Hinge Park in Vancouver, Canada, and the 7 C's of play, an evidence-based evaluation framework for understanding the quality of natural outdoor play spaces for children that create healthy communities for all. Hinge Park is particularly close to my heart, as it was located partway along my journey every morning as I would ride my bicycle from Kitsilano to Gastown for work. After many long and particularly stressful days, I would often stop in this park and enjoy the scenic views of the North Shore Mountains or retreat into a quiet, calm, natural place. This presentation will begin with a brief video tour, and then I will highlight some specific project details and design elements. Next, the planning policy of Greater Vancouver will then be discussed, and the 7 C's for evaluating play environments will be highlighted. In conclusion, several lessons for the City of Toronto will also be presented. This park is located within the heart of the City of Vancouver. It is on the south shore of False Creek, adjacent to the Central Business District to the northwest. The project is also located next to the new Olympic Village, a mixed-use community with 16-story residential buildings and a central celebration plaza. In contrast to this formal space, this park provides a beautiful place to relax and interact with nature while enjoying the views of the North Shore Mountains and downtown cityscape. There are many specific design elements, including a children's play area, a natural rainwater wetland, and an artificial habitat island connected to the mainland through a tidal walkway. The park is currently named Hinge Park because it provides an articulated joint between the existing Phase 1 developments to the east and future phases of residential and mixed-use development to the west. Hinge Park is a 0.9 hectare site that lays within the 2010 Winter Games Athletes Village. This area is generally known as the Southeast False Creek Neighbourhood, or informally as the Village. The area is the first LEED neighborhood design project in Canada and built on former industrial land. At 32 hectares, this community will be home to about 12,000 people in about 10 years. Includes green buildings, a district energy system, and green roofs with rainwater capture and storage, and permeable surfaces to promote on-site rainwater infiltration. This is the broad community design vision for the Southeast False Creek neighborhood. It is useful to see how Hinge Park is situated and frames development within the first phase in the center and future phases to the west. In addition, Hinge Park is mirrored by a smaller community park on the east side of the central area, and this park is due to be constructed in the next couple years as development progresses. The broader design of this community was also informed by a series of principles which were developed by PWL Partnership and other consultants. In particular, I'd like to highlight the distinct neighborhood precincts which begin to the west with the works yard, the shipyard, and the rail yard. In particular, Hinge Park provides a separation between the works yard and the shipyard. Moreover, connected public open space and parks is a key unifying element of this entire community, and this is where Hinge Park really shines. PWL Partnership was hired by the City of Vancouver to design and implement a network of parks and open spaces, and the 650-meter extension of Vancouver's iconic seawall between 2006 and 2010. The Central Community Park was designed in partnership with Pichette Studios and is unofficially known as Hinge Park, although it has not been formally named. Hinge Park is a very unique place. It was designed for play and reflection. The area is distinct compared to the Central Celebration Plaza and Seawall boardwalks. The park offers space for people to retreat into passive areas designed for quiet, calm reflection. A large children's play area that has many natural elements includes a water pump, a big rusty bridge constructed from sewer pipe, and a stone story circle. Additional design elements within the park include a new seawall connection with separated cycling and walking paths, a dog off-leash area that is technically temporary, and picnic tables, benches, and docks. Additionally, a new public art statue was installed by Jonathan Borofsky in 2014, although this also may be considered temporary. The park is owned and maintained by the Vancouver Parks Board and was funded by the City of Vancouver. Unfortunately, no specific annual budget or cost estimates could be located since this park was constructed within the broader context of the village. There are also many features of the park which respond to the local ecology and climate. Vancouver is located within Climate Zone 8, characterized by long, mild, and wet winters and relatively sunny, dry summers. On average, it rains about 161 days a year, and nearly 3 feet of rain falls out of the sky, though in recent years there has been more rain in the winter and less in the summer. Green infrastructure features include a wetland created to slow runoff and provide natural rainwater filtration, and an island that provides habitat for marine and terrestrial species. All elements were designed to meet or exceed BC provincial flood construction level guidelines for sea level rise adaptation. The construction also involved remediation of significant past industrial contamination, both on land and in the ocean. These impacts will be considered next. This is the site as it looks today, based on imagery from Google Earth. Take you back to 2005, before construction began. You can see this was used as a storage area for various industrial activities. As construction began, a silt boom was put in place to protect the marine environment from contaminated runoff or disturbed sediments. Early phases also constructed the wetland area. As construction of the buildings began, the natural landscapes began to be vegetated, and phases of construction involved building the seawall and other pathway elements. Finally, just the year before the Olympics, the park was more or less complete, although it was not yet open to the public. After the games were over, the park was a beautiful new addition to the community, and over the past few years, trees and landscape have matured, and it feels like it has always been there. I will now discuss the City of Vancouver planning context and how this park complements the following policies. This park supports the active transportation goals of the Transportation 2040 plan. The seawall and pathway connections form part of the Seaside Greenway, a route designed for all ages and abilities. This was also the final segment to be paved and connect the inner perimeter of False Creek. This new segment was designed to separate users and to accommodate much higher volumes of traffic than previously experienced, predicting a large increase in cycling and walking demand. This park also supports the goals of the Greenest City 2020 plan. Specifically, the green transportation goal of making walking, cycling, and public transit the preferred option is illustrated how my commute, I used to choose this route instead of riding along through the city core. In addition, the access to nature goal is supported as Vancouver residents enjoy incomparable access to green spaces, including the world's most spectacular urban forest, as the edges of this site are lined with large, mature trees. Healthy city strategy is also complemented by this park. In particular, I'd like to focus on the environments to thrive goal of this strategy and talk about how this park promotes early child development. I reviewed the peer-reviewed study called Beyond Physical Activity, the Importance of Play and Nature-Based Play Spaces for Children's Health and Development. Research indicates that playing in natural outdoor spaces boosts children's physical activity, potentially reducing childhood obesity. It is important to also remember that focus on social and emotional development, not just physical activity. And natural play spaces provide opportunities for all ages and abilities, not just children. The 7 C's is highlighted in this paper as an evidence-based approach for evaluating design of play spaces that promote healthy child development and create healthy communities. Specifically, the 7 C's for evaluating children's play environments are listed below, and my comments on how this park meets these objectives are discussed. This park builds character, as children can identify unique industrial and resilient ecological elements. This park has strong context, as it provides a place for children to retreat from the vibrant community heart. This park is well connected, as children can walk or cycle here and remember the journey. There's opportunities to experience change as children witness storm events, seasonal changes, and natural succession of the plants and natural landscapes. There's opportunities for chance as children interact with each other through engagement with design elements such as the water pump, the balancing logs, or the circle for sharing stories. There's clarity as legible edges provide children with a sense of security within the space, and the facade of the mid-rise human-scale buildings provides a sense of community that is not looming over the park. And finally, there's opportunities for challenge, as design of the play spaces inspires children to be curious, climb, balance, jump, and grow. There are some areas of the park that could be improved. For example, public art was recently introduced to improve triangulation in the underused open area, originally planned as a school site. Planting on the island and along pathways was also seriously overgrown, and several trees had to be removed this past year. Moreover, wayfinding may provide an invitation into the space, as it is easily passed by. However, this could be considered a benefit, as it protects the space for the local community. Habitat Island is more commonly known as Beer Island, resulting in damage to the vegetation, litter, and sanitary issues. Although this does provide a unique habitat for the human species. People like to throw rocks, and the cobble landscape at the water's edge is particularly inviting. Unfortunately, this may cause serious erosion and damage to the landscape as this pattern continues. Finally, I'd like to highlight a few lessons for the City of Toronto that I learned after observing this park. Toronto should allow users to engage with water more. They won't die. The particular lesson here is that many waterfront parks, such as H2O Park or Sugar Beach, fail to provide any place for people to interact with the water's edge. Alternatively, Hinge Park has a cobble beach where people can walk down and touch the water, and dogs can run in and out as they play. The City of Toronto should also invest in green infrastructure, but not hide it underground, as they did in H2O Park. Alternatively, they should build exposed natural wetlands and allow people and children to interact with these places. For example, Corktown Common has many natural features, but they're barred off behind a metal fence. In addition, the City of Toronto should invest in unique industrial design elements that celebrate the rich industrial past of Toronto. The city should also prioritize direct active transportation connections and separate areas for passive reflection and social interaction. Experiment with temporary elements such as public art, dog parks, and community gardens. If these features fail to meet the community design or public policy goals, They can simply be removed if they are installed on a trial basis. Focus on the 7 C's of design for children's play, and all ages and abilities will enjoy the public benefits of a happier, healthier community. I'll leave you with this quote by George Bernard Shaw. "We do not stop playing because we get old. We get old because we stop playing." Thank you for listening. I appreciate your interest, and I look forward to an ongoing dialogue if you post in the box below. Follow me on Twitter at HealthyCityMaps, or follow my blog at healthycitymaps.blogspot.com. Thank you, and have a great day.